What's going on, y'all? This is Floyd back with another video. Today I'm going to be showing you the Galaxy Buds Plus. It's something I've been anticipating for a while. I'm excited to share this with you guys. I had this product for about 2 weeks now, and this is just, in my opinion, way better than the last generation. And they should have released something like this the first time around. But without further ado, let's get into it. I already unboxed it because, as I've already said, I've been using it. Oh, and if you didn't know, whenever you open the box, I didn't know until a couple of days ago, there's a guide right there in the lid, but a lot of times they're stuck up there and you don't even notice it because you open it and then you see your Galaxy Buds and they're right there. But I never opened this. I haven't used the wingtips yet. The ones that came with it are perfectly fine to me, but it comes with your charger and your different wingtips and ear tips. Whenever I ordered it, Samsung had a deal online that whenever you buy it, they send you out a free wireless charger. So I haven't been using the actual charger that comes in the box. So that's good. You can use either for your phone, for your earbuds, whatever you want to use it for. All right. So now let's get into it. First, you will notice that these are way glossy. The ones that the first generation were more of a matte finish, but these ones are really glossy. And I really like the gloss, but my main concern whenever I first saw the gloss was these are gonna get scratched really easy and they're not gonna hold up over time and they're gonna look ugly after a couple months. But I've had these for 2 or 3 weeks now, and they've been holding up pretty good. I've had them in pockets with keys. I've had them in my toolbox with all these metal tools around them. You know, I try to be careful, obviously, but you know, I've had them in my toolbox, had them in my pocket. I've been cautious, but I figured by now there would be noticeable scratches, and I don't really see any. It's a fingerprint magnet for sure. It shows fingerprints, but my main thing was scratches. You can rub off fingerprints and it's all good, but so far, so good. I haven't really been seeing that many scratches. And as far as hardware goes, they added an extra microphone on here. I don't know if you'll be able to pick it up. The camera will be able to pick it up. But they added one extra microphone over the last year. There's two on the outside and there's one on the inside. So it helps with your ambient sound and it helps whenever you're talking on the phone. Oh yeah, one more thing. Oh, let me go back here. The actual earbuds themselves are more glossy than last year. And this little finish right here is different from last year, just slightly though. All right, so let me show you something outside of the app real quick. The last year, whenever I'm sorry, I got a text message. Last year, last year, whenever they released the other headphones, they didn't really have a cool animation. I think they updated the app recently, but check that out. You open the case, you get this cool animation, reminds you of like a AirPod type deal, you know? So that's pretty cool. Just wanted to show you that real quick. You don't got to be in the app just to pair it every single time. You can do it outside of the app. Now, when you first get it, you're not going to have this fourth option. I'm going to show you how to turn that on. But this is your ambient sound right there on top. Basically, whenever you listen to music, you're going for a walk, you're at work, somebody's calling your name, something happened around you, you're able to hear it. The microphones pick up the outside noise and you're able to tell what's going on around you. So you can turn that off and you'll be more isolated. You can still hear a little bit, but you can't make out everything. Or you can turn the ambient sound on and that way you're safe. So they got the equalizer here. A lot of people on YouTube are recommending the dynamic, which is now here. On the last generation app is a little bit different. I think it's on the far left. So you got read notification aloud, missed call, messages, things like that. When you got them in your ear, and if you don't have a watch already, if you get a text message, it'll say messages in your ear, so you know you got a text message. And then if somebody calls and you miss the call, it'll say missed calls in your ear, and then your music keeps playing or whatever. So I've used that feature. It's pretty cool. Touchpad's the same as last year, but if you're not familiar, You press the touchpad one time, and the touchpad is this whole surface, this whole little glossy surface here. It's unlike AirPods where you gotta like actually double tap it pretty hard. You can just touch these and it's pretty easy. You touch it one time, play and pause. You double tap, you skip to your next track, or you answer or end phone calls. When you triple tap, that's your previous track. And then there's your hold, which you can change in settings, which is here. So I like mine to be on ambient sound, both left and right, but you can change it around if you'd like. You can change it to voice commands. I think it uses Bixby. Let me check real quick. Put it in, press and hold. Okay, so you could program it to either be Google or Bixby. I don't know if you just saw that just now. So that's cool that you can program it. So you can do voice command, you can do ambient sound, volume down, and Spotify. And that's in both. So the only way that you can really get two different ones is if you do voice command in one, ambient sound in the other one, or Spotify. But if you do volume up in the right one, the left one automatically goes to volume down. But I wouldn't recommend doing that because there's another way that I can show you that you can control it to go up and down in volume outside of this. So this to me is just a waste of a feature. So I like to just do ambient sound, but you might use Google Assistant more often, but it's all your personal preference. Advanced, you can do ambient sound during calls. That's self-explanatory, you know, so if you like that, you can turn it on. If you're not, keep it off. Find your earbuds. They have to be outside of your case in order to use this feature. And the case has to be open. So you have to have the case. If you lose the case and the earbuds together, I'll show you what happens. If this is lost and it's somewhere else, you can't use the Find My Earbuds option. It blacks out everything else. So I guess this feature is just used for if you have the case still and you're jogging or something and one falls and it's left behind. That's the only way that you can use this feature. And I guess you got to be close enough to even turn it on anyway. So it's kind of useful, kind of not. I think I've used this feature one time, and that was when I was playing with my niece, and I was flipping her around, and I think my nephew or somebody knocked one of my earbuds out, and I was looking for it, and I didn't know where it was. That was the only time that I can think of that I used that feature. But besides that, it's not used like Find My iPhone or something like that, where if somebody steals it, you know, you can use GPS tracking and track them down and stuff like that. It's not used for that. All right, general settings, there's nothing there. You can update your earbuds from the app, and that's pretty cool. Let's see, tips and user manual. Here it just shows you the same thing, your touchpad, what I just showed you earlier. It explains to you what ambient sound is. You want to dig deeper into that. When you use this on the Samsung Galaxy S10 and newer, you can use the reverse wireless charging to charge your earbuds off of your phone, and that's pretty cool. That's dope, actually. So going to the next one, this explains to you your battery. So you can see this has a green light here, and then you close it, it has another green light. So this light here is saying how much your battery is for each for your earbuds, which you don't really need because the app tells you. But the outside tells you how much the case has, which also the app tells you that as well. Once you open it up, it connects, it tells you the battery is on 92% for the case and 100% for the earbuds. But just at a glance, that'll break down everything for you. So it says 30% and less is going to be a red color. Between 30 and 60% is going to be yellow, and above 60% is green. Now this is something that I learned making this video. I didn't know prior to. But it says pairing with your phone or tablet. If you've already paired your earbuds with a phone or tablet, just open the charging case and connect them again. If they don't connect automatically, or if you want to pair with a new phone or tablet, put your earbuds and then touch and hold both earbuds for 3 seconds until you hear a beep. I didn't know that prior to this, and that's pretty cool to know. I guess that's if you're using like your watch or something and you're going for a run, or if you have another phone or you have a tablet, this is a useful feature that you can use and easily pair to another one rather than going into settings and trying to figure everything out all at once. But they have to be paired prior to in order to get that seamless switch. But I guess the first time that you use it, it prompts it on the other device and it makes it a little bit easier for you there too. So that's worth noting. And finally, there's Labs. This is how you get the extra high ambient sound. And then this is what I was telling you earlier with the double tap to get the volume up and down to work. So here's the touchpad that I was telling you about earlier. But if you touch this part and you double tap it, it'll make the volume go up. You see that? Now this is the right one. If you do that with the left, it makes it go down. So you can do that. Turn that on if you'd like. You don't have to. Then you get the extra high ambient sound, and that gives you that fourth option. Now when you first get these earbuds and you connect them, that's going to be turned off, and you're only going to get these three options for your ambient sound. So to get the fourth one, you just turn that on. And now you recognize. Now you see that there's a fourth option there. So that's pretty cool. And that's pretty much it with the app. But all right, this is going to be kind of the boring part. Well, I wouldn't say boring, but I'm going to just tell you my experiences with this product. First things first. Over the last generation, I can really tell that the battery is much better. Normally, if I put the old generation in, by the time I'm at lunch, those are giving me like the warning sign, like I'm at 15% and they're about to die. This one I can use for 8 to 9 hours with ambient sound on, with about 3/4 of the volume, and it will last that long. So it's basically a whole work shift with using ambient sound, and it's going to work. The 11 hours that is rated at, I can only assume that is if you use 50% volume with the ambient sound off, and you're not using the touchpad to press to play and pause or to skip. You know, all those things cause battery life just a little bit, and if you keep using it, it's going to kill it a little bit faster. So I'm just assuming that 11-hour rating is just for continuous play at about 50%. But I can honestly say I've used these for a full work shift, and they work great for that. The ambient sound is much better over the last generation. And finally, the thing that a lot of people were wondering is, does it sound good on the phone? And that is yes. The last generation, you could make out a couple words that I was saying, and it sounded like it was muffled. But I really love these because I can talk on the phone when I'm at work, and you can make out what I'm saying, and that's really cool to me. The last generation, they were 130 when they first came out, and I really feel like they should have been able to. You should have been able to hear me last year on the phone, really, to be honest. But I'm glad they fixed that, and it sounds even better outside from what I heard than the AirPods. You know, whenever you're indoors, it's pretty much, you know, not affected. The AirPods sound better. But whenever you're outside and there's a lot going on, I've heard that these sound better than the AirPods. I don't know how true that is. I got to get me some AirPods, and then I can make the comparison. But that's going to be my next purchase for headphones. I'm going to get the AirPod Pros. My wife has the AirPod, the second generation, and I have an iPhone here, so we can go into stuff like that. But stay tuned, subscribe to my channel, and like the video, leave a comment, and let me know what you think about the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Y'all have a good one.